Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Leanna. Today I'm going to be doing a collaboration with my good friend Maitreyi from the Raw Paint blog. She and I have been very good friends for probably around 2 years now, and we talk all the time, and she and I have done at least one video prior to this, which I can link down below. And we've been wanting to do another video together for a long time now because we just really enjoy each other's channels and content, and obviously we really enjoy each other as people. And so we kind of went back and forth on a few ideas and landed on this one, which is to copy a face chart. And if you don't know what a face chart is, I will put the one that we're going to be doing on screen. It's basically a really cool art concept where people draw a face and draw makeup on that face, and so you can kind of take that and apply it to your own face. This one's really colorful. There are different face charts that are more muted in color, but we wanted to do something that was kind of doable for both of us in terms of skill, but also show what it would look like on both of our faces, because we have very different faces. We have different skin tones, we have different face shapes, and Maitreyi thought that would be a good idea just to show what it would look like on two different people, and I thought that was great. So if you want to see what this looks like on Maitreyi, obviously I'm going to leave her links down below where you can find her video and her channel. If you want to see what this is going to turn out on my face, then you can just stick around and see how I managed to apply this makeup, because it does look very neat and a little bit intricate. So let's see how I can do this. I am going to do my face first. This face looks pretty darn flawless, so obviously probably won't get to that level of flawless, but I will do my best just to kind of block out any redness and stuff. Maitreyi and I are both kind of a fan of a more like natural finish to the face, sort of a lighter to medium coverage, so we have that in common. And if you like the sort of channel that I have going where I mix beauty videos with commentary, then you'll definitely like Maitreyi, because she does a lot of the same things and she does it way better than I do. She always makes me feel like I've learned something by the end of the video, which is definitely a good thing. She recently just did a video on Gwyneth Paltrow and her company Goop, which I have always hated. So I was obviously very looking forward to watching that, and she did not disappoint. So I cannot say enough about my dear friend, and I hope that you will like her as much as I do and check her out. Luckily, I don't have a lot of breakouts or anything right now, so I'm pretty happy with that amount of coverage. I'm just going to put on a little bit of powder to set everything in place. So these eyebrows are kind of interesting. They're kind of combed in a really specific way. So they're kind of combed really far up at the front. And from there, they kind of comb down, kind of point down, and then up to kind of meet in the center. Like they're really there's kind of like a delineation there. And then when you get to this point here, they kind of all angle naturally again. So what I'm going to do is take a really fine pencil. I'm going to try and sketch in a few brow hairs that kind of follow that path, because these are pretty dark and thick brows, but they are just kind of structured a really particular way. So I am just going to press really, really lightly to make sure I don't just all of a sudden sketch a really dark line. So I'm barely touching. And kind of really thick through that center part here. So I think I'm just going to keep drawing in really tiny strokes until I'm satisfied. And I'll fast forward through that and then come back. And that's probably realistically about as close as I can get, since I'm not a drawing and these aren't pencil strokes. So I guess we're going to move on to the eyes, and I can zoom you in closer for that. So the very first thing I'm going to do is going to take a sort of pinky red shade through the crease. And this shade is blended really, really softly, so I'm trying to do that myself. And I feel like it also goes up really high on the inner corner, so that it's basically touching the eyebrow. So I'm doing that too. So sort of right in this area, it's blending all the way up to the brow. And then in here, there's more space. The eye shape here is also quite a bit different than mine. There's always going to be more space between here and the brow on an eye shape like that than on someone like me. So we'll come back to that color later for the lower lash line. I'm going to start taking some blue on the lid, and it looks like there's two different shades of blue. So I'm going to take a slightly darker blue on the outside here. Until I get to around the center of the lid. But I want to make sure that this is pretty evenly layered. And then from the center point onward, I'm going to take a lighter blue. And just kind of pat on top of the darker blue to make sure those two blend together. I'm going to take the same lighter blue on the lower lash line, on the outer corner, followed by the darker blue, And I'm taking that on a brush where I can sort of make a line with it. And taking a little bit of turquoise on the lower lash line, sort of on the midpoint out, and creating a line just above the blue. I'm also going to use that turquoise. There's a small line of it on the lid. It's almost like a highlight. So I'm just going to place that. Now I'm going to use a smaller brush than this. Right about here. I'm just taking a lighter matte turquoise on top of that just to make it a bit lighter. And bringing that just the pale turquoise on the innermost portion of the lower lash line. Taking just a little bit more of that pinky shade to blend underneath all of the colors on the lower lash line. Taking just a very soft satin white for the brow bone. And a tiny bit of duochrome blue for that inner corner. And making sure it kind of goes in a sort of triangular shape, like the eye here. There's a thin black line on this corner, so I'm going to do that. On the very inner corner, it's just a thin black line. So I'm taking a gel black eyeliner. I decided to take that eyeliner the whole way across my top lash line, but I'm not creating a wing. Time for some mascara. So Face Chart isn't really wearing any blush, but there is structure to the face. I'm just going to add a little bit of structure through the same places that the Face Chart has. There's a really strong highlight down the nose. As well as across the lips. And for the lips, I figured they were trying to get across it's a duochrome lip gloss. So I'm just going to add like a lip gloss with a little bit of color in the places that they have. I'm placing shades of teal eyeshadow on the lips in the same places as seen in the chart. Then applying the gloss to smooth in that color. And that's my finished look. So I think I did a pretty good job of getting the same colors and the same sort of vibe that they were trying to get across. At least I hope I did. And I can't wait to see what my Trey comes up with. So again, I'll have all of her links down below, and I really do hope that you go watch her because she is fantastic. And I really thank her for collabing with me again because I really enjoy her so much. So thank you, my Trey, and I hope we get to do this again someday. This face chart was actually a lot tougher than what I thought it would be. So leave me some encouragement down below. Let me know I did at least a halfway decent job. If you want to look me up somewhere else on the internet, I'll leave all of my info down below. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon. If you'd like to subscribe, there's a button where you can do so, and if you don't want to, that's okay. Thank you so much for being here as always. I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye, everyone.